losing $175 trading NVIDIA and Bitcoin. Ladies, gentlemen, kids, it is dead out there. From a momentum perspective, let me tell you, we're going to get into these two trade recaps. One was a swing trade and one was was supposed to be a swing trade, but I kid you not, I was in it for like 32 minutes and I took the trade on the 4-hour time frame. So which is kind of a good thing because it was a complete, like, it didn't work. Like, it didn't work quickly and we're out. So we're going to get into it and we'll go from there. So we'll start with the closed or the NVIDIA trade first. This lost $54.42, give or take. If I jump back to the charts here on TradeZella, you'll kind of see, that I entered this thing on the breakout here, and then it stopped me out. I'll go back to the charts here on TradingView so you can see it better. But this one was I thought, very good trade. Like, it was fine. The thing I guess I should have gone back to here is if I go to the running P&L, if I get myself away for a second, you'll see that at one point I was up on this position by about $200, just shy of $200. I must have misentered the exact timing of the entry. So it says I started off up 79. I obviously started off at 0. But I was up $200 at one point, and then we ended up losing 54. So this trade, probably I could have gotten out yesterday. I literally just wasn't looking at it. And I kind of missed the sell-off at the end of the day. And so here's why. This could have I moved my stop loss to break even, but once the market opened today, we were like, I don't know, $5, $6 underneath. Yeah, the exit was $9.19. My stop was around my entry. So we're actually like $9 underneath my entry, which made me lose money on the trade when it would have just been a break even trade in a perfect world. And if I was in a perfect world, since I couldn't get out in pre-market, it was only once the market's open. So it's breaking down. This is kind of what I was saying. I want to see what happens here. And we are getting a rejection up at that level. And I'm not super surprised by that. Let me tell you, there is no momentum in the market whatsoever. There is none. There is absolutely none. Is there a lot of downside momentum? No. Is there upside? Definitely not. So, you're just kind of floating around. And we've been floating higher on average, right? But there's no momentum. There's no thrust. There's no follow through. So in this environment, it kind of makes sense that we did not break through the new all-time high. We're not in an environment to do so. We're not in a momentum environment, right? That's just what it is. Now, if we turned on the Jets yesterday, today, we could be in one and boom, this would have been an amazing trade. You know what I mean? So it's not a game of trying to tell me or trying to guess when it's going to come on. No, there's no way to know. It's just you trade the charts. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. And if you have good risk management, you can trust the process and let the thing play out. So we'll get into that in a second about my overall month. I'm going to have a monthly recap here, in a couple of days. But so that was the thing. Seeing this, I probably could have gotten out. And if I jump back to like a 5-minute chart, you'll see what I was talking about. The sell-off, I just missed this. Last I checked on NVIDIA, it was, 940s, 950. And I was like, okay, whatever. My stop loss is $25 below, whatever. But we had this pretty big sell-off the last 30 minutes of the day, which put me we closed right above my my stop. So I could have just exited the position here knowing that there's overnight gap down risk. I don't want to have to lose more than I need. I could have just made, exited for like a $5 or $10 gain, and that would have been it. I didn't see it, didn't do it, so it is what it is. The next day you wake up and you lose a little more than you were expecting. Either way, my original trade risk on this trade, if we go back on the 4-hour time frame, here's where it was identified. This breakout right here, my original risk was 908, so I didn't obviously stop at 908. I stopped at 919, so I saved myself, $10 roughly of original planned risk. So that's from just moving the stop loss, etc. So that was the first one, or that was the swing trade on NVIDIA. It's been a couple days. I got in on this on the 22nd and exited on the 27th, so like 5 days, I guess. And then the other trade was on Bitcoin, which has been my best, trader for the past couple of months, this year, I think. But if we look at Bitcoin's chart, we lost on this trade, by the way, we lost 120 on it, okay? If we look at Bitcoin's chart, let's jump back to it. Here is the same thing. It was on the 4-hour chart. So I was looking at the 4-hour charts. I've been seeing some setups, few and far between, but I've been seeing some. We got a little perk in volume, but obviously now it doesn't look great. It was this. So I got in, faked out, complete fake out. That's it. Stop was underneath the consolidation, and then that stopped me out. Now, Bitcoin does this, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back up. For all we know, who knows? We're not in a high momentum environment just in general. Bitcoin's been better, but we're not in that environment in general. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not super surprised by these upper and lower wicks. It's kind of comes to the territory. My sixth sense has been tingling this past week or two, or really the past couple weeks. And when that sixth sense is tingling, it's usually the time just to not even bother. Literally, I should not even be bothering. But then I have this weird push and pull of well, you should be paying more attention. You should be watching stuff at a minimum and, getting a better feel for what's going on so that when things start to turn, you're right there ready to go. And so I kind of go back and forth, and there's almost a point where do you need more screen time? Do you not? I really don't think that screen time, to be honest with you, is going to help me a lot at this point in my career. It's not. It really is not. It's just setting alerts, trading the charts, and that's it. I've seen it a million times, a million ways. I really have. So it's not about this getting more screen time. I don't think. It's staying in tune, I guess, to what's going on, the conditions. But when I have that sixth sense that's we're not in a high momentum state, when I feel that, I almost know that there's a higher probability, a substantially higher probability that we're going to lose on a given trade than we're going to win. But if a setup is there, I'm still going to take it to a degree. So my way of combating that is just not looking for setups sometimes. In this case, I saw Bitcoin this morning as I was running through the charts, and I was like, this is an absolute perfect setup. This is what I would like to look for, right? We are not at highs, but very close. We've got higher lows. Obviously, the bigger time frames, we are trending up. We are on the 4-hour chart. We're not looking at a 5-minute chart here, so less chance of these upper and lower wicks. Of course, we still get them, but lower chance of that crazy, back and forth price action, which you can get caught up in on the 5-minute chart and even, the 15-minute, 30-minute, right? So I go to the 4-hour, and I see a breakout over a flag. I'm like, this is perfect. Right? We got a little bull flag. We're breaking out. Cool. Awesome. Let's play it. Just didn't work. Simple as that. Just didn't work. So we lost 120, and I was planning to make about 225 to 250 on the trade. I was targeting around 76,000. So you can do the math on that. And I had a 0.05 Bitcoin position. That was how much I had, I guess. So that's that. Now, to the accounts where these went down, let's pull that up. So that's this. Let me go back to my dashboard really quick. As of right now, I'll get to those. I'll get to the accounts in a second. As of right now, here are the recent trades for the month. There's been 7 trades. I don't anticipate. It's Wednesday, it's 10:30 in the morning Eastern. I don't think I doubt I'm going to trade again today. Doubt I trade tomorrow. And if that's how things play out, then there's a pretty decent chance that we finish the month with these stats. So if that's what happens, here's a full look so you can see it all. We would have had 7 trades. We would have, on average, we would have had a 28.57. That's a terrible win rate. So a sub 30% win rate. Now, of course, only 7 trades, right? That's going to be skewed. If I had 8 or 9 and I win the next 2, this number comes right back up and it's not that bad. So take it with a grain of salt. But our average win-loss, 1.73. So our average winner was 141 this month and our average loser was 81. That said, those numbers are actually smaller than I believe the last few months. If I were to go back to last month, my average winner was 243 and then 103 on the loser. So you can see that we kind of almost scaled down, right? Part of that is the conditions, right? It has not been a high momentum environment. I literally haven't been seeing very many setups, A. Second is, and this is kind of like a mini rant, the prop firms that I've used are kind of fucking pissing me off. Be honest. So if I jump over here, here's one of one. Here is the account that we traded on. It's a 6K account because they transitioned my 25K account to the new platform. The problem is I log in and I go and I'm like, okay, cool. The balance is $25,000. My balance should be over $26,000 as I've made over $1,000 on the account since I opened it. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to trade this account until they fix it and correct it just in case there's any fucking bullshit that they want to pull. So I'm like, fix it. Of course, now it's been, 24 more hours, no response. It's just kind of fucking pissing me off, right? So I haven't been trading my $26,000 account where I would be sizing larger. A. B, right? We talked about how there just hasn't been many setups. Okay, cool. How did you trade NVIDIA? Well, that's where I traded on this account, which is this Arctic funding account. This account, sitting at, let me refresh it. This is not technically accurate. Here is the accurate number. No, it's not. It still hasn't updated for today. Either way, this trade lost to $50. So it's currently said it's open. It's not open. It's closed, and we lost $50. The account, for whatever reason, has not. This dashboard hasn't updated. But I'm still up a few dollars, up like $28 or something like that on the account, which was open at $10,000. Okay, whatever. Who cares? But that's just for the accounts, so you can see the trades for the transparency purposes if you care. But I'm going to show them, right? The $25,000 account I haven't traded in over a month, or about a month. So it's now a $26,000 account, but that one we just haven't used. So once I have that set up and all good to go, we will be back on it eventually. In the meantime, we've got to deal with these bullshit accounts, to be honest, because A, I want to test things out, so I'm kind of the guinea pig. So I am complaining to a degree, but I really am not. This is what comes with the territory. So I'm testing these things out, testing different companies out, just seeing what they have to offer, and hoping that we get the 25K account back soon, and then we're back on, normal sizing and all that, maybe better market conditions going into next month. So that's where we kind of sit. A lot of, little bullshit going on, but I don't want to say that is definitely not a reason why this month is red so far, or we've been, off. It's not. The trades are the trades. Like that doesn't affect me really at all. It is just annoying. It's an extra thing that you got to think about and worry about. So it is annoying. I agree, but the trades haven't worked. I would have taken the same trades no matter what. So they just haven't worked, and that's just the way it is. That's where we're at. TradeZella, link down below if you want to check it out to track and journal all your stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next trade recap or a live stream or the month recap. Peace.